Okay, so part of my half marathon training, I've got a tempo session, but it's being done in an interval format. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the power of interval running, why it's important, why you should be doing it, and I'm going to talk you through it as I do my own session. So first of all, let's go get changed and come running with me. Okay, let's start with reason one why you should be doing interval training. Number one, fitness. It's one of the best ways of increasing your fitness, your VO2 max. You see, the level of intensity I'm talking about could be sprints, could be faster paces that you can't sustain for a long time. And so, just by doing it in bursts, you're introducing your lungs, your heart, your legs to a pace that might be new. Your body is forced to adapt. So reason number one, cardiovascular fitness, VO2 max, is absolutely enhanced if you take yourself to these kind of paces. Let's go. The 2K warm-up is done. We're about to go into another 2K at 5:05 per K pace. There's the countdown. Let's go. Okay, that's a good pace. Let's go. Okay, reason two, efficiency in time. You see, the level of workout you're gonna do at these short bursts, in terms of using up your time, if your time is limited, this is one of the best ways to use up very limited time. If you only have half an hour to run, having bursts of intense workouts, recovering, is gonna give you best bang for your buck in terms of utilizing your time and making sure you get a good workout in. Now, there are much more benefits, but if you're like me, you're a parent, you've got work, other commitments, your time is gonna be limited. This kind of workout is gonna be very effective, but more importantly, efficient in utilizing your time. All right. Okay, the rest, we're gonna walk in. 2K done. We now have a 2-minute rest. That was tough. So 2K done. The ask is 5:05 per K pace. I've got a 2-minute walking recovery. And then I now have 1K, which we need to do at 4:50 per K pace. A minute rest, then we do another 1K. Okay. 3, pace. You see, especially if you've plateaued and you've reached the point where, regardless of how much you try, you can't do a 5K, 10K past a certain time or faster. Doing interval training is one way you're building up your pace. So you can do it like this. Maybe you start with 30-second sprints. Take that up to 1 minute. The next week, you're gonna start increasing the time you're sustaining that pace. But more importantly, you also could be decreasing your rest or recovery periods. Either way, you carry on doing this, you will slowly see that you can then sustain the faster paces for much longer, which you probably couldn't do before. That's one of the biggest benefits. And I've seen it especially for 5K, 10K PBs. Interval training is gonna be your best friend. Okay, we're on 1K at 4:50 per K pace. I'll see you when I wrap this one up. Let's go. But reason number 4, variety. You see, running the same way, zone 2, doing the same thing every time can get boring. As soon as it gets boring, you give it up. So by adding in things like tempo sessions, threshold, interval, reps, running on a track, it starts to add variation to your routine, and it just keeps things spicy. It's like a relationship. You're keeping it fresh and spicy. Yeah, okay. Not bad. Okay. Minute rest. We've got a minute rest, and then we'll go again. Okay, no, actually, it's 1 minute 30. Okay, let's go. Halfway. Okay. 1K done. A little slower than the first 1K, but still within the time requested by the runner app. Now, 1 minute 30 seconds rest, and then we've got a 2K warm down. Okay, so back in the house. Excuse the state of me. I've literally just walked in from that run, but let's break it down and talk about particular things about intervals we want to call out. So let's wrap up on this session. Started with a 2K run, and the ask was 5:05 per K pace. We did that 2K at 4:53, so absolutely nailed that. And then it was 2 rounds of 1K at 4:50 pace. The first one we did at 4:39, and the second one at 4:45. The main thing I want to talk about, though, hold on, let me make space, is this chart here. If you look at that, I want to talk and highlight the heart rate. You see, that heart rate that you're seeing, the max heart rate here, is not something you can sustain for a very long period. And therefore, when you do intervals, you push yourself to places you've never really been. And so you challenge your heart rate. And you can see by that chart, the 2K, 1K, 1K, that's where that elevated heart rate is. The next thing I want to talk about is the training effect I've just done. So because I've got a 2K warm up, 1K cool down, you can see the aerobic impact this has. But the one I want to dwell on the most is the anaerobic impact that this session just had. My Garmin and the Garmin Connect app, using my heart rate, the performance I've done tells you the anaerobic impact this session just had. So that is not something you're going to get from a zone 2 or just going out for a jog. Okay, so with that said, let's talk about the zones. So we've talked about zone 2 training before. If you haven't, I'll link the video to the zone 2 training at the end of this one. That will kind of leave you in that zone 2, zone 3 aerobic. But this session pushed me to a zone 4. More importantly, it pushed me to a zone 5 where I was giving everything I had for those 2 1K sets. And so the benefit of this interval training, I'm going to keep emphasizing this, is pushing you to a point where you can't normally go to and sustain for long periods of time. And that's why you do it in bursts. And the anaerobic cardiovascular impact in terms of your fitness for this, absolutely invaluable. Thank you very much. And I've said, if you want to see the zone 2 video, it's going to be over here. And I've done another video about the benefit of long runs. I'll link that over here too. Thank you for checking this out. This is a series of daily videos. I'll see you tomorrow.